This is non-fiction, so excuse if the content is offensive. It's official. Now that we have been acquainted, this is my pleasure, my pain, your entertainment.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Nonpfixion coming back at you one more time with a brand new reaction. And this time, we are checking out Everything Always, aka Michael Roman. And he is talking about what's to come with Fantastic Four. Yes, we know they're coming. We know they're back in the MCU. We're just not sure when exactly. We have an idea with the movie, the future movie rundown of what's coming, what's dropping in the future. But this talks about the Fantastic Four villain is revealed, and it says Marvel Eternals Easter egg. So, let's really see what he's talking about. Because I haven't really done too much looking into finding out more about the, what's happening with Fantastic Four. I know there's characters that I want to play the Fantastic Four characters, but I haven't really dove into it, trying to figure out more what they're doing or who is supposed to be. Maybe we'll get more information and get enlightened by this video. So let's check it out and let's see what he got for us. Once again, Fantastic Four villain revealed and Easter eggs from Marvel's Eternals.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to
Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman.
There have been a ton of Fantastic
Yes, I watch him a lot
in the last couple of months, mostly focused on the teams themselves.
He's a good dude.
Everyone from the normal John Krasinski and Emily Blunt for Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic to this most recent report that had Seth Rogen as the thing. Now, regardless if there's any validity to it, we haven't had really much talk about whom the villain may be yet. In the last 7 days, there's been a rumor that's going around. It's sort of hard to attribute it to any one industry insider, but the name has popped up a couple of times.
Seth Rogen?
Like I said, with an actor attached. And in my exhaustive research to try to trace this one to the source, I actually found a similar report from an industry insider years ago, and the name definitely won't surprise you. As far as the villain goes, it's someone I don't think anybody saw coming. Okay, you'll get that joke here in a minute. We're breaking down who's the possible villain for Fantastic Four, their first film, and why it would make a lot of sense based on some actual comic accuracy. And what's more than that, a major Easter egg that may have already been sown by the MCU in early Phase 4. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content like this kind of video every single day, and that's all we do.
He really does. He really does. Nothing but Marvel.
Year, as we push up to 1 million subscribers, we're literally just weeks away from the next giveaway. So if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the rumor is that actor Robin Lord Taylor is being looked at to play Mole Man in the upcoming Marvel Studios Fantastic Four. And while
Mole
the
Man, huh?
that this seemingly came from as a rumor in the last 7 days have not near the track record of the normal industry insider, anonymous Twitter scoopster we report with confidence. This is actually mirrored by a different report coming from the OG himself, Mikey Sutton, and years ago, that
Mikey Sutton, I haven't heard that name in a minute.
As one of the first villains Marvel would introduce against the Fantastic Four, not just
why Mole Man?
Accuracy of it being their first comic villain, but Mole Man is actually one of the very first villains in the Marvel proper. That was the realigning of the comic book company, and it could be now with the first family back home at Marvel Studios and their third attempt at a cinematic.
So it's symbolic
that they want to pay a little bit of homage and do the first villain as well. Now, obviously,
symbolic.
Mole Man is going to need a lot of modernizing if they're going to use him in any sort of interesting way in the MCU, and up till now they've been able to do that. But still, when you've got classic Fantastic Four villains like Kang already involved in the MCU, it's hard for me to see how they wouldn't be at least addressing him, and maybe sooner than later showing up first in Ant-Man Quantumania, which, as the name would imply, is going to take place, at least in part, in the quantum realm, where I think the Fantastic Four may have been this entire time. Now, knowing Mole Man is a subterranean villain, there may be some want to try to connect that in some way to the quantum realm. I guess technically it is subterranean. It's way, way, way down there, but that's really not how his story normally goes. It's more like hanging out underground and making plans to rule the surface world. Yep, nope, that's really it. I mean, these comics are really old. Again, he's going to need a ton of modernizing. While I do think, at least on the surface level, get it? Like, surface level? Ah, man, I'm killing it right now. This character does make sense in light of everything we've already heard with the Fantastic Four. See the report of Glenn Howerton as Mr. Fantastic and Seth Rogen as the Thing. Maybe they're taking a lighthearted approach, or at least a more lighthearted approach to this film than the first two Fox iterations.
They know they got to do this right, because people will go have
in the prologue right after I made that silly joke about nobody seeing him coming when referring to Mole Man. Get it? He's blind. Moles are blind. I also mentioned that Marvel might have already seeded an Easter egg in the Eternals, and hear me out. Okay, this coming directly from his Wikipedia page. Mole Man was originally Harvey Rupert Elder, an American nuclear engineer and explorer. Elder was socially shunned due to a combination of his abrasive personality and his homely dwarfish appearance. Furthermore, his fellow explorers ridiculed him for his eccentric, crackpot theories regarding a hollow Earth. In 1956, while following a group of explorers called Monster Hunters, he stumbled upon Monster Isle, which was at the time the base of deviant Warlord Crow. Now, Warlord Crow, you guys remember deviant Warlord Crow, we just saw him in the Eternals, and where I think this hollow Earth theory could fit nicely into what we just saw out of the Eternals is now that Tiamat has birthed in the Indian Ocean, he would have left an entire cavern underneath ground where he was before he birthed. That would make for a hollow Earth, and you could have him simply be a scientist who had been on to what was going on with Tiamat, or
that is true.
Part trying to track that the whole time. Of course, he would sound like a crazy person to other scientists saying, hey, there's a celestial, there's a hollow spot in the middle of our Earth. The cavern left there can become subterranean where Mole Man will reside. Still, as I mentioned in this video twice now, he's going to need a ton of modernization. He is an old school villain, but it's nice to hear one that's not a analog for once. You know, hey, you get a new hero and then you get a villain that's very similar to that hero, but with one change. This is just classic Marvel. And while we already have a couple of classic Fantastic Four villains in play right now in King and eventually the Skrulls in Secret Invasion, and also eventually Doctor Doom as well, it would be nice to get some of these classic one-off villains along the way. Mole Man is definitely a one-off, and look, I know there have been a ton of rumors, especially in the last couple of months, as we anticipate a brand new official announcement for some of these castings coming at some point here soon. They're not going to be able to keep the Fantastic Four casting secret forever. There is still a lot to be written. They're in such early
whoever breaks that story goes viral.
For how this all leads to Secret Wars. And let's not rush it. It took them 10 years to get through the Infinity Saga, and we're literally, 2 or 3 years removed from Endgame, but only a year into the stories now with the delay from COVID. So let it take time to simmer and, you know, build out all these villains and these characters. There's no need to rush into Doctor Doom. There's no need to rush through the entire King multiverse saga. Although I do wonder just a little bit, when they're through with that, how they're going to redo the stakes as we go into a battle world that would technically be a multiverse war as well. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below about this villain, the idea that Mole Man or some of these other classic villains would be
interesting. I don't know.
In a way, do you like my theory about how he could possibly be a subterranean villain using the place that Tiamat was? If you have your own theory, I'm all for it, as always. Quickly, let's jump into the giveaway stuff, what's going on here at the channel. As I reported months ago, I have not been in the most ideal studio situation. I've been in between studios, but I am very happy to report that come Monday, I will be in a very new and permanent studio situation. I am so excited about it. So we will get back to much earlier posts, especially if you're in East Coast, and we'll be back to 2-a-days as well. Another thing that's been going on at the channel is the WhatsApp scammer. I believe I have addressed it with methods. I haven't seen it in 2 days. But if you do somehow get a comment that says that you want a prize, I would like to verify that is not
please
true.
don't respond to
all
them.
winners via videos. I don't go in people's messages or comments. So if you see that and the account says something like WhatsApp me or whatever, just kindly report that comment and or flag it. We are still giving away PlayStations though, among other prizes.
Yes, they are actually giving away PlayStations,
books, tickets, etc. And we're doing so every 20,000 subscribers, all the way up to 1 million. So if you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button.
They're up to 935
below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the way we're doing here. Again, I don't go in comments and say, hey, you won, hit me up. That's not what's up. So look for announcements at the end of videos. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, with original music, including the background music you're hearing right now. And in fact, the song that's playing while I'm doing this outro is going viral on Spotify right now. So if you want to check it out, check out All Fires. I'd sincerely appreciate it. Thanks for checking this channel. I'll stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.
Now, I heard what he said about Seth Rogen, and that one kind of threw me. Like, Seth Rogen as a thing. Now, you know, when they said Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, none of us could see it. Didn't mean that it wasn't a possibility, but when he, you know, got in shape and lost the weight and, you know, put on his acting chops, we had freaking Star-Lord. So, the only thing about Seth Rogen It's the voice. It's the voice. Even though when they synthesize it for when the rock formation begins, when he gets the powers, his voice actually might work because then it won't be kind of the nasally high pitch. It'll be a verbose, bottom heavy uh, voice with his tone. So it could work because his voice is not supposed to be clean and clear. It's kind of raspy, slightly a bit annoying to the ears, just like how Hulk's voice is raspy, slightly a bit annoying to the ears as well. So I can see that. I can kind of hear the voice in a different tone, and I believe it can work. I'm just not sure because not. I mean, he has done some quasi dramatic roles, which still have a little bit of comedy in them. So I mean, I believe the man can actually act, but I would have to see it. I would have to see it to believe it. And also, when he did Green Hornet, I know it's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have been in Green Hornet. He shouldn't have been a Green Hornet. It was not. It was not a movie that was meant for him. Regardless if he brought the movie to the movie theater or the screen played to the movie theater, movie company, or what, or they approached him. He shouldn't have did a movie like that. Should have been somebody else. That should have been a new face, newcomer. And I hate that became a wasted movie, and that's no longer a part of anybody's continuity. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video in the chat below. Once again, it was for a Fantastic Four villain revealed, which Mole Man still an interesting idea, especially like he said, they used Mole Man as a realignment for the comic book, the original comic books, because the comic books were all over the place. It's like how DC did the New 52 and realigned everything. So Mole Man was used to realign the ideas around Fantastic Four. And now since we have them back, and we also, if you notice, we're going to have pieces of the X-Men and Doctor Strange, which is saying that that part of the X-Men exists in our continuity or in a version of our continuity as a variant. So therefore, they're going to be there. They're going to exist. This could be this characters in this story could be what's needed to realign all of that, to kind of not necessarily retcon to make them included, but to have them all be like, okay, we're starting over at this point. Boom. Because this is the point where they wanted to start in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? When they did the original Fantastic Four. If you've never seen it, don't worry. It's not worth it. I'm not talking about the Jessica Alba Fantastic Four. There was a Fantastic Four made before that. Yes, there was. And it was so bad that it never saw the light of day. And in the 90s, the only way you could actually get a copy of it before YouTube was around, you had to buy it on VHS off of eBay. Yes, off of eBay, and you would get a copy from China. That's where it came from. How I know this? Because that's where I bought it from for $15. Yes, for $15. And I used to have it on VHS, like with the original plastic covering. I don't know where that thing's at no more. But hopefully what he's saying can work, but I feel like it will be a softball character, softball like villain, and let's say just make him OP or bring in multiple villains, or do it where the characters, they get their powers in the first movie, but they're uncontrollable, and so therefore them fighting within themselves, which is normally part of the nature of the team in the beginning, them fighting within themselves and within their powers, trying to learn their powers and become the Fantastic Four, is part of the reason why they pretty much get their butt kicked in the movie, and they come back towards the end when they start to work together, and then they finally understand and get a grasp hold on their powers. But the idea of the Celestial leaving the caverns and the space in Earth, making it a hollow Earth, it could theoretically work. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm not too sure. How I feel about that. I guess I have to read more onto it. But like you said, the information came from Mikey Sutton, who's somebody that hasn't really put out a lot of information recently, and then I guess hasn't been the most reliable in the past. So we'll take it with a grain of salt and see what's next. But if you are here still and you are enjoying what you see, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and please put a yellow heart in the chat so I know that you made it to this point in the video. I appreciate you for being here. And also, I'll put a link in the description for his channel. Please go check this guy out. He has great content. And when there's new series that do stuff on Disney Plus, he does watch alongs. He did it for a couple different. He did it for What If. He did it for. He did it for WandaVision as well. He did it for a couple different things. And he's actually a cool guy. I've talked to him several times on Instagram and chat and in direct messaging, and he's a very cool person. He's actually a really, really dope person. I've talked to him. I've talked to Wendy from the movie couple, and those two people, I can personally say they're awesome people. So appreciate you guys being here. Truly, truly appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you're new here, subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Go like his videos. Check out his Marvel content, and also ask him about his Iron Man suit, his real Iron Man suit that he can wear. He likes to talk about it. Appreciate you. Love you. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, noon, wherever you are in the world today. My name is Nonpfixion, and I will catch you on the next one. Appreciate you. Love you. We out, y'all.